Okay, Aries Feminines, we're going to try this again. That last reading it was a good half an hour long, and it wasn't making any sense. And I do believe I've discovered why it wasn't making any sense is because I fell for the, what would you call it, the illusion, just like you. Well, since that time, I've walked around the table, taken a break, had a cup of coffee, and I feel so much better now, and I've tossed in the energy deck here. And now it makes perfect sense. And here we go. Number one, Aries Feminine, you are coming up as the thinking woman. Now, guys, don't be offended, because this is saying that you're beginning to use the noodle now. So it's not all feelings and emotions. But this is the crux. It was the envy that triggered something for me. Envy, that can be something as simple as, I put in all this work, yet you get paid for it. You're the one who's rewarded. That's one example of envy. I wondered why the envy. Why did you have so much envy? Why were you all tied up? And as we said before, it was a caring connection. Now, let me explain something. I said in the previous reading, it was a situationship. But what threw me off was the contracted agreement that you had in your situationship. The issue was you were being well taken care of. The garden and the gate. Some of you were set up in a nice place, and you had, possibly because you had a child with this person, others you just had someone who had that kind of money to set you in a nice place. Set you up in a nice place, and here he is, man, holding a heart. But when you thought he came back around or she came back around, it was just going to be another cycle with this person, because they had this habit of being in and out in the first place. That is the number one sign of that you're in a situationship, when they are in and out. I don't care if it's male, female, or non-binary. If they're not sticking with you right then and right there, every day and every way, you're in a situationship. Now, what has blown everything up is that when you got the message, you found out, some of you found out on social media, some of you were actually, someone sent it, well, that's social media too. Somewhere you found out about your partner, who you thought was your partner, your child's father, your child's mother. They were marrying someone else. That someone else had lots of money. And you were being left in the lurch. For others of you, he came to you, or she came to you to say, I'm getting married. And that sunk you. You were attached emotionally, and you didn't know how to break free just yet, but you knew after it was illuminated to you, here's a sun card, you had to walk away this time and stay gone this time, okay? And in doing that, you also realized that your whole financial situation was threatened. That was the missing piece. That came up, but it didn't look the same as it does in these cards, with these oracle cards. This is where the anxiety is coming, Nine of Swords. That's where the anxiety has come from. Your heart was broken. And here we have Archangel Raphael. You can call on him to help heal that heart. Because right now, and some of you are going to have to go to the big boy, to Yeshua, the healer of the ages, to help you restore your vitality. Because for some of you, after receiving some news like that, that's devastating. It is going to impact you not just emotionally, but psychologically and physically. That can break you completely down. And this is why The rest and rejuvenation is so very important for you right now. It's part of your healing process. You know you have to walk away. And this situation has been going on. You were highly protective of this situationship. I don't even think you knew you were in a situationship. Some of you thought you were in a relationship, others you knew it was a situationship, and still others you were contracted to be there. Okay? And you were very protective of that, but now you're learning to be more protective of yourself and your child. Because this situation, look at tulips and lilies, long term. You are in a long term arrangement. And some of you fell deeply in love with the situation. But your person did not. That's what was so confusing in that first reading. I just could not understand why or how so much would be at stake that it would cause a tower. It just didn't fit. The energy wasn't fitting. And that's because in reading the energy and tuning into the energy from the reading, I went too deep myself. And even I got caught up in the illusion. Okay? Apologies. That's not my job. To be caught up in your stuff. Okay? So, now that I've pulled back out of it, what I am seeing is a situationship that ended, that has left a great deal of disappointment and a fear of poverty. But you also have as your outcome the Magician and the Mirror. You are in the position now of learning the lessons that you had not known before. You have all resources that you will need to heal and do whatever it is you need to do for you and yours. Spirit says you are safe, and you will be safe, and you will be secure. But you will also be on your own. Okay? So take that Aries spirit you have, my darlings, and just move forward with your life. And everything will be all right. Obviously not in 24 hours, but down the road, give it about 6 months, you'll be in a much better state, a much better position of that Aries independence you're known for. Okay? I just had to clear this up for you and for myself. This is Grand Madam, wishing you much love and great successes, Aries Feminines.